Welcome to Bonehead Weekly. We hope you enjoyed our show and tell at Spawn a Scarefest. We actually, we had I don't know, I actually thought it was a success. I was hoping that the other two would take me to dinner because all they have is a protein shake, but God bless his gallbladder. I probably didn't need to eat anything other than that.
Well,
Just alcohol and protein shakes is really all I need for a con.
yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's what kept Jack LaLanne going. Look it up,
I
kids.
mean, I'm only one third joking.
Yeah, and it's like the weirdest one third.
It's the weirdest one third. I drank less alcohol, more protein shakes this time around. That's the secret. That's the secret. Just
That's
want to let you all know.
that's what the insiders don't want you to know,
All
kids.
right. And a big shout out if Kelly McIntosh is this, my little that panel guy Funko Pop. I put it there next to the Stay Puffed, and her cosplaying as me was absolutely hilarious, and I appreciate it. And it made this old man's heart beat 3 times, which is probably 2.5 times more than it has in the last 6 years.
Yeah,
All
well,
right, fine.
I
This
was gonna say, I was gonna say, I can't get a designed Funko because it would literally just be the factory default.
It would kind of look kind of like just the Lego guy without the hat on,
Yeah, basically.
without
Yeah,
the thing you put on top.
yeah. No, there's no point in me getting a Funko that's designed for me.
We should do that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about doing it, James.
well, I
I
mean,
mean, did it
but
cost money? Because if it
yeah,
costs money,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
not doing this.
yeah. They're not overly cheap to be honest. But the funny part about that is, Chad, the real thing, yours would be harder because you would have to nail the outfit, right? Like with Joe,
It's a
you get
hoodie,
the hair, you get the facial hair, you can kind of do it.
some
I
sort
don't
of
want to
black
say
shirt.
quickly.
People kind of just
Yeah,
assume
yeah.
yeah,
Funko doesn't make hoodies that say Wolf Nards on them.
they
yeah.
should.
So I mean, that's one of the problems, and so I think yours would be one of the more challenging. It
Yeah.
would be quote unquote easy for the hair purpose, but it would be really hard to nail the outfits.
Hmm.
Do they have one where one shirt's on top of the other? That's for two people, by the way. Hey, buddy, you're wearing two shirts?
Oh my God, it was 98 degrees outside. He had a long sleeve shirt and a shirt on over that.
And
Not
I
the
was
long
wearing
sleeve shirt
shorts,
over the short sleeve shirt. He had the short sleeve shirt over the long sleeve shirt.
and they were both black, and I had shorts on, and I was comfortable. I am sorry to the redneck who had no shirt on and cut off denim shorts.
Those were my
Sir,
Daisy Dukes, and I look pretty in them.
sir, you looked like the definition of an ass hat.
I am an
I'm
asshole.
just glad that you're ignoring the fact that I was wearing my Boss Hog cosplay because he was in his Daisy Dukes.
All
Do you know
right.
how far hard it is to find an all white suit and hat my size? It's actually not that hard.
Actually, I was about to say it's not that hard. So this week, the gentlemen don't know. This is going to be a short episode, just because of travel plans and other things. We do have an interview coming up that we're recording this Tuesday that I'll be quiet about. Then we have a couple more coming up too. That being said, this week they don't know what I'm about to ask. And first, we're going to start with a comment, and then we're going to start with a question.
Oh,
Here's my
real quick,
yes.
before the coming up in the future, if she's listening, the winner of our show and tell, I am genuinely excited about the topic she has for that episode,
I
which
am
every
too.
yeah, which what you all will get to see when it airs. So
Yeah,
go ahead,
and
Chip.
if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry, but Chad's right. I should have said that. I'm so sorry. If you're listening to this and you enjoyed show and tell, because actually that was probably more popular and went off well than most of our live episodes. Uh, let let Scarefest know. Let Lexington Comic Con know. We'll do them. It's fine. We enjoy doing the shows there. So happy to do the show and tell, and it brought a lot of people together. So now,
And by the way, was really, really like the winner. I was telling my wife about that, and
yeah,
she was like, "That's a next level." I'm like, "Yeah, don't you kind of want to see that party?" Like that
right.
was extreme. That was awesome.
So now here it is. For the last few years, had more than pretty much accepted, and I wouldn't call it mourning, but I pretty much accepted that the theatrical experience of going to the movies was not necessarily dead, but definitely in the third act, right?
Hmm.
And I thought this is done. There will just be the tent poles, and that'll only go so long till whatever else comes through. And then over the last 2 months, but truthfully this year, these YouTubers have made these movies where I truly think there's some original voices. I'd never heard of Marco Pyle when I saw what oh gosh, I already forgot the name.
Obsession.
No,
Iron Lung.
Obsession.
Iron
Iron
Lung.
Lung, I'd never heard of it, didn't know anything about it. Went into it and had no hopes, no expectations, didn't know the plot. Thought it was about a serial killer. Couldn't have been more wrong. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's very open to interpretation, but it was an original voice. And we've all three said this, right? James and I have defended Rob Zombie before. It's like, you may not like that shit, but you know that that's a Rob Zombie, that's original voice. And then back to what you were saying, Chad, I went and saw Obsession by Curry Barker. I don't
Hmm.
know anything about any of his movies before that. Couldn't have cared less. Watched it. I, it made me so uncomfortable. And I knew both of those people. And he is a really good writer. Have either one of you seen it? His dialogue was excellent, excellent. And yes, the budget kind of bled through because it was less than $1 million towards the end, but also some of her makeup. I was thinking, is the budget bleeding through, or is he straight up trying to remind me that that looks like Cheryl a little bit from The Evil Dead? I, I'd like to ask him. If I ever get to, I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah.
And back to YouTube. And then I went and I don't remember this young man's name. I should have pulled it up. I didn't. And then I went and saw Backrooms the other day. I had one more today, and then it was nothing I could do. 9 or 10 a.m. Saw it by myself. And I paced
I
like
re- I
things don't.
really I really want to see that movie.
Well, I think you will enjoy it more than me.
Hmm.
But once again, a YouTuber based on a creepy pasta where these back rooms and people take pictures and I understand now that and I enjoyed it. I think the ending of the monster and how they try to kind of wrap it up a little bit never quite achieves it. But I understood the sadness in it, the sadness of missed opportunities, the sadness of being stuck in a rut, of not changing your life, is this it? Is it just another back room? That's what to me it's about, but maybe I'm projecting of like it's one other back room after one other back room and it all looks like beige. And is this the shit I'm supposed to grow up and do? And there seems to be a whole generation that this scares the piss out of them. And I understand it. I get it. And I know this is going long. I'm so sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I worked in that office and it's not fun.
It's not. And I don't, and sometimes I think I do it, and sometimes I don't. But three things came out of this that I'm extremely happy for. One is quite selfish. I am so happy that original voices have made $100 million per movie, except for Iron Lung, which was still a hit. He self-financed. And I'm so happy the original voices and these young people. I know I'm saying this like I'm 102, I'm 48 years old, but young people who are in their teens and 20s are going to the theater. And they're completely passing up Grogu. They're completely passing up Masters of the Universe, and they couldn't give two shits about spectacle, it seems. They're looking for something that speaks and talks to them. And that's what everyone is looking for. We forget that. So I'm very happy about that too. I cannot believe, as much as I've shit on YouTubers, clearly these people have learned their craft not only from watching movies, but coming up on YouTube. And it has served its purpose to a certain extent. It brings shit like everything else, and the cream rises to the top. And the third thing is that I am proud of myself, gentlemen, because I felt for a minute that I'm getting too old to understand sometimes. But I don't know that that's true. I think out of those three, Obsession is the best. Then Iron Lung, and I'm just giving three. There's a ton more we could talk about, but Iron Lung, and then Backrooms, Chewy, Ejiofor, I can never say his name, but it's Chewy. Great performance, really good music in the movie. Interesting. All of it's interesting. I just think when you finally kind of show the monster, which is true in a lot of monster movies, gentlemen, am I wrong? When you finally it's hard, especially in low budget, to have a monster that pays off.
Yeah.
And to me, they don't quite have a monster, and what little monster they do doesn't quite pay off. And I don't want to say the third because I get shit about the third act, but it's kind of the monster itself doesn't pay off. But I understand the dread of it all. Obsession, I understood. I have dated her or versions of her, and I know him, or have dated someone who was like him. And it's so eerie, so sad, so draining. I want you all to watch them. But after I said all that, what do you all think about everything of how, well, not how, what do you all think about where we're at now? Because I don't know that
Did
4 months ago, even after I saw Iron Lung, I woun't have known 4 months ago that we're going to have two independent horror films. One of them will cost less than $1 million from YouTubers that are making well over $100 million.
well, did you see Spielberg's comments on this? I
Well, he
wanted to ask
loved
that.
Obsession.
Well, and so I saw an interview with him, and they said, "What do you think about them doing this with no money? I mean, comparatively to
Yes, of
this,
course.
compared to what the studio
Because he's
system has
fighting them
given
right now.
him."
He's the first one to knock one of them out of number one.
Yeah, he said it was the best thing ever.
It
He said it
is.
was young creatives without the studios, without. I mean, these, and I'm sure there's parts of this that I'm glossing over, but more or less they made these and then they got picked up. Like these were not,
Yeah, I
or they
think
were
it's a little
completely
more
self-financed.
complicated. I think it's a little bit
Yeah,
more
yeah, that's why I said
complicated
I'm
for the one
glossing
for
over it.
Backrooms because Backrooms cost some money. It's not a huge
Yeah,
production, but yeah, so well
but
made. That
but
kid's a good director.
and that was it. And so, he said that was absolutely exciting to him. And that's what he said. He was like, I haven't got to see Backrooms yet, but I'm going to.
I
And
know,
I,
and he loved
and that,
weapons.
yeah, and I think that's such a key thing is that, one of the things that excites me about it, and I love these directors. I love it, but you had people like Martin Scorsese saying, well, the Marvel movies aren't real films and all that stuff. Well, here's the thing. The audience gets to decide. And that's one of the
They
things that I
just do.
love. I love about movies and what I love about media, right? There's characters in comic books that I loved. I love one of my all-time favorite characters. Oddly enough, as much as I'm a Marvel guy, it's not Marvel, it's DC. It's Resurrection Man. That it ran for a while, it got canceled. They brought it back. It ran for about a year. It got canceled again. It's my
And
favorite
they
character.
brought it back again.
Oh, is it back again?
Yeah, it's back again.
I have to
Guess
go
who's
and get him.
back?
But anyway, I say all of that to say that's telling as far as the mass audience, I'm a bigger fan than the general populace. There is something going on here then that I do think is important. And I will flip this more, maybe more broadly. And again, maybe this is me reading into this. Is this a sign that the idea of quote unquote the disaffected youth is over?
Yeah, I think
Like,
so. A
I
little
can't
bit.
fight the system. Well, now, as somebody pointed out to me, and they're absolutely right, you know, in education, we talk about, and I don't mean to make this work sounding, but, we've been hearing enrollment cliffs. There's going to be less students that go to college. And so our enrollments are down and blah, blah, blah across the country.
It's already happening.
That's true. But for some reason, people have thought that meant, oh, there's less kids. Well, there's now more people that are 18 to 24 or I'm sorry, 18 to 34, I think, than there are boomers. And as somebody pointed out to me, if the youth actually use their power, and that's literally 18 to 34 is what they're defining, they can outvote the boomers. They can outvote any other population. That is awesome, as long as they agree with me. But, and I say that realistically, but I say that part kiddingly, but I was like, think about what that means, because I always think about that. Like, I never felt when I was in my 20s that, I mean, I voted because I was raised that you vote, you do your patriotic duty, but I never thought my vote really mattered or really
Not in
did
this
anything
state.
like that. Or,
Our vote
or
for
that.
president doesn't matter in this state.
And so, but I don't think that's the way that they're feeling about things. Now, and that's the problem too. You do have to look at which way they're leaning, and in some
And some
places
of
they're
them
very much.
are very much. Some of them have went down rabbit holes with influencers and these, and we won't get into it because that's a different kind of
But
podcast. If we start
but that's
talking
what I mean.
about,
But I
uh,
think that's, to me, it's an extrapolation of what you're talking about because I think it's cool. I think it's the fact that people are seeing, because I feel this way about, broadly speaking, our generation, so to speak, people around our age.
I'm
Like,
Gen
I think,
X. We're almost we're all
yeah,
three Gen X. You guys are right at the end,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 by definition, absolutely. And here's the thing that I think about that. I think that, like, I can remember my dad talking about, oh, this was the book of our generation. Like, there were a couple ones that got mentioned, but like Catcher in the Rye, that was, if you were of that generation, you understood Holden. You might not agree with it, but you understood.
Yep.
And I've never felt that about anything that I've read. And part of me is like, do I need to write it? And I'm like, well, no, because nobody agrees with me, and even in my own generation. And so I think it's interesting that we're seeing these come together because if you're making a movie, and like you said, this is three in a row,
These are
three
three,
in one
and
year.
I'm not even talking, but and then we have a whole, I have a whole other, depending on how this went, where I could say, also, everybody needs to turn around and witness. I'm pretty sure we're in another gilded, whether you want to call it the bronze, silver, gold age
Mhm.
of horror, and it
Yeah.
hasn't stopped for the last year and a half. And there's some good ones.
Well, and
I review a lot of them and I pick them apart, but for the live, actually, there's been a lot of different horror films the last few years, right?
I was going to say I might as well throw this in here. Um, for those who didn't see it, because it bombed and went. It's now on Max. If you haven't seen They Will Kill You,
It's fun.
uh,
oh, it's one I'm going to watch this weekend actually.
it is so
So
much fun.
I'm going to stop working just to watch that because I saw the trailer and I was going to go see it.
I was too.
It was in the movie theater during Lexington Comic Con,
It
and I was
Yeah.
going to go then,
it
and
I
I
saw
just
it in
ran
the
out of time.
theater trying to, I don't remember how I got to, because I saw that and They Will Kill You, and what was the other one that's close to that? The couple one. I love that one too, with Jason Segel and not
Oh,
Jason.
the one that's a remake of oh
Yeah.
crap, I can't remember because I love the original
I'm going
Dutch
to
film,
I love you to, it's not I Love You to Death. That's an obscure Kevin Kline movie from the 80s, but it's
but
like, yeah,
also the
it's
simple
fun.
truth is
I love that
Samara
movie.
Weaving is the underappreciated actor today. She's just a phenomenal in anything she does.
Well, yes. So if you follow Bonehead, Chad and I have sang her praises for what, 6
I
years.
dote on her like crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's truly talented.
So that was good too. There's just been I mean, and some of them are quite not as quite as good as that. Like I liked they're going to kill you, but I didn't. It was like it wasn't great. And then Sinners, and then Weapons, and then Long Legs. I'm sorry, we're
By
getting
the
off
way,
topic. And now
Yeah.
with this YouTube generation is doing exactly what every other generation did before it. They
wait,
use horror to tell their stories, low budget, whether it be through a drive-in, whether it be through videotape, whether it be through DVD, whether it be through second run films, or now YouTube to get their way
yeah.
through. It's the same story.
Well,
Mhm.
and I was about to say we have had people on the show and we talked about people, directors who you said, would use the drive-in back in the day, and they would
Yes,
take their reels. They would have enough money to make 10 reels, and they'd find 10 drive-ins to show, and then it would blow up. YouTube is like you were saying, it is the modern drive-in.
it's just you
Except
can.
now, I just have to get people to watch it and hope.
And hope, yeah. And I didn't know that they would go to the theater like this. That's the other thing. When you start seeing, I think Obsession's almost at 200 million domestic, right?
Hmm?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't occur to me that that's even possible.
I think the biggest weekend drop it's had is 11%, and they made a big deal that it dropped 11% because they were like it had been dropping 7 to 9%, and they was like, oh,
Where
it finally
where
dropped double digits.
where Masters of the Universe is an official bomb, if I'm not mistaken.
Officials of Universal Official Bomb, oddly enough, I enjoyed it. It's dumb as a box of rocks and it has a ton of things wrong with it, but for some odd
Oh.
reason, it snaps right through and I
Can
enjoyed it.
I can I ask a question? Because I haven't got
Sure.
to see it. I haven't been getting to go to the movies too much lately.
I've been putting
Um,
vacation time.
is it and that's a yeah doing two jobs right now.
I know.
But anyway, I
Is
look
it
at
what?
it and I hope it's like Flash Gordon.
I liked it better than Flash Gordon.
Well, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
exactly
yeah,
it's exactly Flash Gordon.
yeah. But I mean that same sort of over
Yeah,
the top. Just
yeah, it
have
is.
don't think, just have fun.
Chad, every criticism Chad threw at it was true. It leans a little too, it's like Bonehead did Master of the Universe.
Yeah.
It leans a little too much into the comedy, but actually out of that leaning too much into it, I would say one or two jokes out of every three work.
See, I didn't laugh once. That's
I
one of the
laughed
issues I had
several
with it.
times. I laughed several times. The theater I was in laughed several times. There's a lot of people who were enjoying it.
It was me and one guy So
There's a
it's
whole row of people behind me stood up and applauded at the end of it. And
yeah.
there's a ton
I
of people that liked it. I just don't think it's this generation's jam or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just not their thing. It just isn't. And it doesn't translate. My kid, he was okay with it. He thought it was kind of meh. It was all right. I think I liked it slightly better than he did. And it's stupid. I do like that they leaned into the Skeletor. It's just bad. Yes, it's
Yeah,
back
no,
to what we
I
talked about.
that's the part I enjoyed. I truly enjoyed Skeletor. I never thought I would say the best part of a movie was Jared Leto.
I liked What's His Face's Man at Arms. I like
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. And I like the guy who played He-Man. The script is so bad.
Yeah.
It's so
So
bad.
does this mean I'm never going to get my Brave Star or Thundercats movie?
Well, the way they explain the names was kind of funny too.
Yeah.
I'm shocked Chad didn't laugh at some of it, but I did laugh out loud.
Especially because I am a huge He-Man fan, and I was just like,
Well, they did kind of take your childhood
I don't
and
care about that. I never care
poking
about that.
at it.
If they do it well, but I didn't feel like they did it well. I never
Well,
care about.
I've got one important
I
question.
don't have remember berries, so it's okay.
I've got one important question. Is Buzz off in this movie?
No, and
No.
neither
So
is.
what's the point?
And one of my favorite characters gets killed off pretty much instantaneously.
Well, yeah, and you see it coming too.
What?
Yeah, you do.
Fisto dies?
There's no skunk or
There's no skunk or no Manny faces, no too
no.
bad. Yeah, I was just kind of
I thought they did a pretty good job with Trapjaw.
yeah.
He is a big character though. So
I
they
really wanted Skunkor to make an appearance, but it
somebody I
didn't.
still have my skunk or he still smells a little bit. My kid started playing with my He-Man, my as my dad would call it, Lizard Hill, my Snake
Oh,
Mountain.
I got to go off on a tangent here, and I know we got to wrap up, but my favorite He-Man character, other than Moss Man and Manny faces, but my villain, the villain that I love more than anything,
Because Moss Man doesn't die in this movie, James.
is
See that,
is
Chad? He will
yeah
never know that Moss Man dies in this movie.
is Web Store. And I want to know why Web Store is the most expensive action figure that collectors have to get. Why is it? Because I
Why
like
is-
yeah.
I'm
Why is Web Store?
I'd have to look him up.
I'm gonna make a joke that will only be funny to like 4 or 5 people. Well, you see, Chad, after the bust and Pest.com and all them failed, web stores just didn't make as much money, so they're harder to find.
Oh,
Uh,
Web stores, you see.
it's okay. But back to what we were talking about. I'm really happy that there's a generation and A, they're doing it, B, they're being successful, and C, I can understand it. Because I remember people bitching, and I still hear people bitching about Blair Witch for us. And I thought
yeah,
I don't understand what they miss. I
yeah,
don't. But they
Well,
got angry. And a lot of people get angry at obsession. And I kind of understand why. I think I do. Because if you've ever been around someone who is a little bit, I don't want to use the word codependent. I'll say the codependent.
oh,
The movie will make you feel a little uneasy. There are things that I guarantee both of you will watch it. Well, I shouldn't say I guarantee. And go, Jesus, I've heard that before.
mhm.
by
It
the way, what's the other film that explores codependent where they actually start to merge? Speaking of
I've
horror
only
films,
watched the first 20 minutes of it. It's called Together or whatever.
together, yeah, that's another one that a lot
That's
of
another
people
one I'm going to
had.
finish up in the next couple of weeks.
Is
Sorry,
that that's the one with Allison Brie and
yeah,
David Franco?
yeah, I've only
Yeah,
watched the first
yeah.
20 minutes. I got caught up in the
Eh,
Burrows.
Burroughs is
Uh,
fantastic.
Well, hold on. It's Golden Girls meets Stranger Things with almost the exact same ending of the first season of Stranger Things.
And the problem here.
Well, okay, but every once in a while, I enjoyed the hell out of it. But the reason I enjoyed it wasn't necessarily the writing, the plot. It's because that cast
Yeah,
killed every single scene
don't
they're in.
don't you dare say a bad word about Alfred Woodard. Woodward.
She's good, but I don't. Alfred Molina, and that's fantastic.
Oh, Alfred Molina and the guy from The Wire. Yeah,
The guy from yeah, they're fantastic. And then the other guy who is from all the who plays the doctor. Yeah, no, that cast is just stacked. Poor
yep,
Gina Davis gets buried.
yep. I
I
agree.
don't know.
I'm not.
All I've been doing, having time to do, is watch about one episode of Slow Dog. So y'all are talking circles there.
I can't find anything to watch. I've been watching 8 out of 10
I'm sorry, I
Cats
said
Does
Slow
Countdown.
Dogs. I love that too. Yeah, anything with Jimmy. I said Slow Dogs. I meant Slow Horses because I'll watch Gary Oldman make fun of people all
Oh,
day
have
long.
you watched the new Apple show that everybody loves? The one that's come on.
No, because I don't have Apple and I
Well,
want
I
to
was asking
watch
him. He has Apple.
I did
James.
watch which one? No, I did watch the one that was
Widow's
Vince
Bay.
Gilligan.
Widow
I have
Bay.
not watched Widow's Bay. I'm waiting until it's done.
That's the
But
one my feed blows up on every 2 days, going, "Oh my God, Widow's Bay is the best thing I've ever seen on entire life. It's like Stephen King, a horror film and comedy all in one." And I'm sure it
somebody
is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm
Oh,
just
Dude, I loved, and the only thing about Apple that makes me upset is that Vince Gilligan series that I talked about it on our
oh,
end
I
of the
forgot to
year
do this for
show.
my kid.
Um, that Vince Gilligan show that I talked about at the end of the year, where the aliens invade, and I'm
Yeah.
blanking on the name of it.
Right,
Crap.
with what's her face from the show.
Yeah, that one. Anyway, I loved it. It's weird. It's a slow build up, and it is kind of an invasion of the body snatchers, but they're not wrong. And also, she's not wrong. It's both of them are doomed. Both sides of that argument are doomed, is what you've learned by the end of the first season. That being said, somebody made the point that it's going to be 2 years before we get a new season, and
Yeah.
that's what worries me about Apple shows. Is I don't want to wait 2 years for a new season.
And with that, we have to go. This is a short episode this week. We've got a couple of interviews coming. Sorry, we have to wrap because of things that we can't explain or talk about. Just think about that, whatever you think it is, the worst case scenario.
But don't wish it on one of them whisper bars or whatever
That's
it is.
exactly what it was. Worst case scenario. This has been Bonehead Weekly. Go see Obsession or Backrooms. Check either one of them out. I do.
And watch They Will Kill Us on Max. You will not be disappointed.
Thank you.